The Let's Bite Some Cheese Railway. No wait, was it the Lauren Built Some Clever Robots? Oh, I think I got it! The Lions Bred Silly Cubs Railway. Oh, who am I kidding? I may as well just cut to the chase. The London, Brighton and South Coast Railway E2 class needs no introduction, apart from me saying that they're probably the most famous extinct steam locomotives of all time. Or at least, one of the most famous. We've had these things in Train Simulator for around 9 years now, and I thought they would be a fitting choice for a review, as a way of celebrating the 80th anniversary of the Railway series. This pack was released in June 2016, having been developed by the Rustic Engineman's Loco and Carriage Workshop. As of mid-February 2025, you can still buy it from Steam Sounds Supreme's website for £12.25, or $28.43 NZD. There's also the option to buy the E2 in a bundle with the Great Eastern Railway Y14 tender engine, but I decided to just get the E2 for now. This is not the first time I've looked at an LBSCR locomotive on this channel. That honour goes to the video I made about the G-Class 222 from Caledonia Works. Currently, the only other engines from the LBSCR that I've got in my collection are the E4, L, and A1/A1X classes. CW has also modelled the D1, H2 and K classes, but I haven't got them yet. Two other LBSCR engines in particular that I would like to see in Train Simulator are the C2X class 060 and B1 class 042. As for what you get with the E2 pack, we'll start off with the 5 included liveries, which are as follows: London, Brighton and South Coast Railway Umber, LBSCR Black with red lining, Southern Railway Black with green lining, British Railways Plain Black with the early crest, and BR Black with the late crest, and the decals in an unconventional location for some reason. My favourite out of the selection is either Southern Railway lined black or late crest BR Black. As for my least favourite, I've got to be honest and say it's the LBSCR Umber, even if only for the shade of brown. It may be accurate for all I know, but something about it just doesn't look right in my eyes. Meanwhile, the E4's Umber livery looks much better, in my opinion. Something I noticed with this E2 model was that she seems to be overscale, to the point where the E4 is pretty much dwarfed by the E2. In any case, there's only one variant of the E2 included in this pack, namely the later batch with extended side tanks. This was famously the specific variant upon which the North Western Railway's No. 1 was based. For some reason, the original batch, without the extended side tanks, is nowhere to be seen in the TS add-on. Appropriately for engines that worked in Southampton, the E2s come with scenarios for Southampton to Weymouth, an old freeware route that's still available from SSS. But that route is getting quite long in the tooth now, so instead, I usually go for one of the newer Southern Region routes by Golden Age developments. But so far, the nearest that GAD have got to Southampton in any of their routes is Bournemouth, which features in their Dorset Coast route. Although I prefer the West of England main line over Dorset Coast, it's still interesting to see how the line through Bournemouth looked back in the Steam era. As for what the E2 is like to drive, she's not too difficult, but not too easy at the same time, if that makes any sense. According to the manual, she doesn't have an advanced mode, so the controls are similar to the legacy controls that you get on old RSC era locomotives, such as the LMS Fowler 4F, or the standard mode on Victory Works products, such as the British Railways standard 9F 210. In any case, I went into this knowing that it'd be pointless to try a long endurance run with the E2, something like Castle Douglas to Newton Stewart for example, so I only used her for shunting and short trips along small parts of the main line, or in this case, a branch line. The specific line I was on for these scenes is included as part of the Dorset Coast route. As far as I know, we don't currently have any pre-grouping era routes for LBSCR locomotives to run on, but for the time being, until GAD releases Portshaven, you can at least run the locomotives with coaches and wagons that are also from the LBSCR. I can't imagine the E2s would have ever run with the old Stroudley four-wheel coaches, which are included with Victory Works' Terriers, but there's more modern LBSCR coaches, and even a wagon pack, available from Caledonia Works' website. I haven't got the coaches or wagon pack yet, so I've had to make do with what I have got in my collection. And now for some random observations I made while looking over the E2 locomotives. For starters, there's an obvious loop in the spacebar whistle audio, as I'll demonstrate here. For some reason, there's no variant of the Southern livery with 4-digit numbers in the 2100 range, only the 3-digit numbers. And I also noticed that the controls do not move in the external view. The driver is modelled with his hand hovering over the regulator, and the crew figures don't move. As I would expect from an add-on that's not all that advanced, the E2 doesn't cause a big frame rate drop, which is alright by me. There are only 2 cab camera positions, on the left and right hand sides of the footplate, so the only way to see the animated valve gear is to go to the external view and try to get the camera in the right place. This reminds me of some shots in the CGI era when you could see Thomas's inside valve gear working away. As you're driving along, you'll get a constant plume of smoke even when the regulator is closed. I've found that the big plume won't go away until you've brought the locomotive to a complete stop, then opened and shut the regulator again. At the end of the day, I can't help thinking that the E2 in Train Simulator is nothing more than okay, although I do appreciate the developers' efforts in modelling this famous class. In my opinion, 6 out of 10 is a fitting score for the Rustic Engineman's first locomotive add-on. It's fine by me whether you like or dislike the E2, and speaking of things related to this class, I'm considering reviewing the upcoming Thomas add-on in Train Sim World 5, although I haven't yet made a solid decision on that front.